Good evening, good evening, good evening, folks. Hold on, I lost a coaster. I'll deal with it in a minute. No edit button, folks, no edit button. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. So, folks, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or with the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please take note in particular of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. Folks, NeuroClastic has refused. You know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. We have also included NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Trigger warning. Number 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead and utilize those headphones, all right? Number 2. This channel is made not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised. All right, where we left off. Comments on the proposed rule and FDA's responses. We may have to bust this in two here. In the proposed rule, in addition to seeking comment on our determination of substantial and unreasonable risk that cannot be corrected or eliminated with a change in labeling, we sought comments on other issues such as how long transitions away from ESDs or for SIB or AB may take, as well as the proposed effective date. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go blue in the face here, folks. When they were taking in their comments, nobody was coming up for any other electric skin shock device except for the GED device. Okay? By mentioning the behavior over and over and over and over and over again, you gave those bastards at the DC Circuit Court more than enough rope to hang us all with. Right? When we did those hearings, we were coming in regards to a single device used at a single place for a singular purpose. This has now become the whole entire clown show. And we got the clowns off of the corner right next to the Dollar Tree, okay? That's what this has turned into. That was a whole paragraph to sit there and say that we decided to do this because we wanted to get the comments on the GED, and then you remove the device and use vague language because you don't want the JRC to sue you back into the Jurassic period. But there's a problem with that because you went back so big to be able to get out of being sued that you screwed over the entire point of the hearings in the first place. But let's read on, shall we? And we'll get that last sentence in. We also requested comments on the proposed regulatory impact economic analysis. Jesus Christ, how in the name of God is removing the GED device, a singular device, in any way going to affect the market? Explain it to me like I'm 5. The get is not widely marketed by major corporations because major corporations and their CEOs may be evil bastards, but they're also paranoid bastards. Okay? There is going to be no financial hit if you finally get rid of that single device used in a singular place, because the get is not being marketed anywhere outside of, well, JRC. How in the name of God did this even become a question? Well, I'm glad you asked, folks, because these people went so far in trying to retcon to cover their own ass legally that they completely defeated the entire purpose. It's insane. Let's continue, shall we? We have divided the comments and responses by subject matter, organized like the proposed rule: background information, evidence, interpretation, risks of ESDs for SIB or AB, effects of ESDs on SIB or AB, state of the art treatment for SIB or AB, labeling and correcting, eliminating risks, legal issues, and finally transition time. Let me explain it to you as an individual who has PTSD. But you can transition off and will you be okay? Nobody's okay after torture, Karen. Or abuse. Whether psychological or physical, and let's face it, it's the JRC. They are doing everything under God they can to possibly mess up this kid. Sorry, it is what it is. All right? I think it's studying those legal issues. When you're thinking about all that money that the JRC has at its beck and call to go after you, and you lost your, all right? You did. It's what you did. You wasted everyone's time because it was not chump change for these individuals to travel from their homes all the way to Washington, D.C. to tell their stories, in the face of the lawyers and the heads of the school that tortured them. Okay? Nobody spent all of that time reaching out to everyone that we could that was affected by this terrible place to come and let their voices be heard or make sure that they could send in a video or write. Because it took a long time. Okay? Took a real long time. We did not do all of that work to discuss every single electric skin shock device on the market. This was only supposed to be about a singular device. Being vague because you fear being sued or tied up in lawsuits literally stopped you before you began. We're going to go ahead and close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit those comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you in a few minutes.